Share via email report story. This might be one of my favorite stories to write yet. Also, I don't have much as far as lemons, and author Coon77 got the cookies, so have a slice of cheesecake. We also got 1K, whoop whoop. Don't forget to lock up the pantry once you finish. Do you need anything else? Are you sure you're going to be okay? I'll be fine, Najire. Ochako placed her apron on the counter, practically pushing her senior out the door. Now go, I can handle the shop for the rest of the shift. Asui's sick, Ryoko trusts me, so she went home, and it's Friday afternoon, no one's going to come in. Well, I suppose, but you have my number just in case. Najire tapped her phone at lightning speed, then grabbed her scarf off the coat rack. Once again, stop stressing. Ochako admired Najire's fondness of her and Asui, like an older sister, but that tenderly love could also suffocate someone. I mean, you could stay if you want to tell me the name of the person for the date. Which one of those college boys was it, Mirio Tagada or Tamaki Amajiki? Alright, bye Tilda. The blue-haired girl quickly left, leaving nothing but the chime of the doorbell on her way out. That's what I thought. Ochako grabbed a washcloth and began wiping down the tables. It hasn't been long since she picked up the job. She knew immediately that college tuition was going to tear her apart. While most of the costs got covered by scholarships and grants, she couldn't live in the dorms off of cup ramen noodles and peanut butter sandwiches. Thankfully, her longtime friend Asui put in a good word with Najire and Ryoko, who started a year before her. Customer service wasn't typically ideal, especially at a well-known bakery as Yukyu's Bakery. The college campus wasn't too far, the flow of traffic was steady, and early mornings could be a lot more difficult. Overwhelming, disrespectful, messy, all words she could describe her first week. From adding too much sugar to someone's espresso or clumsily dropping a tray of blueberry muffins, she convinced herself that she would be instantly terminated. But with a lot of help from Najire and Asui, under Ryuko's watchful eye, she felt more composed and confident to tackle any situation. And so, her weekly routine would begin. Though she worked every day, she had a schedule set out each lazy Friday, since most students or workers either partied or studied on Fridays. She cleans the floor, check their stock on ingredients and email it at the end of her shift, while finishing any leftover homework. Professor Night-Eye could care less about your personal life, his paper on economics had to be turned in on time or else. As she shuffled through her notebook, she heard the chime on the oven. Putting on her apron and grabbing her mitts, she opened the door to the fresh aroma of chocolate brownies. This feeling never gets old. Taking out the tray, she kicks the door close with the heel of her foot before hearing the doorbell. One sec. Welcome to Yukyu's Bakery. Please take a look at the menu. Be efficient, hold conversation, take mental notes. She heard tapping sounds, before it abruptly stopped. Being a waiter required her to focus on making the experience a memory. After placing the tray on a cooling rack, she rushed out the kitchen, nearly crashing into the cash register. Sorry about that, what can I get you? Did you see something you like on the menu? Actually, I was hoping you could help me with that. I'm sorry. She looked up for the first time to see the customer she was working with. The first things she noticed were an abundance of fluffy green hair, atop an average face with freckles. Pale green eyes, a deep scar across the right one. Checkered shirt, along with a dark green hoodie and ripped jeans. He rested his right hand on the countertop, his left hand holding a red and white cane. Promoted stories. You'll also like Bakugo XYN one-shots. 3K40. All my one-shot compilation. BNHA Lemonade discontinued. 789K8K. Black Circle YNX character only Black Circle. Red Circle most common love interests Red Circle. Black circle rare updates black circle. Red circle under heavy editing. BNHAONESHOTS. 20.8K 297. Unoya N. Beautiful thinking MHA characters X reader. Onishots just a tired, teenage. Iswocha 1 shots. 32.7K 232. These are just one shots about the wonderful ship Iswocha, probably no lemons or smuts, though I will include cursing, angst, fluff. Izuku x Ochako fanfic. All I need is you. 1M18.5K. Izuku Midoriya and Ochako Uraraka are two pro heroes in training, and promising ones at that. They attend UA High, which is well known for producing powerful heroes includ BNHA 1 shots. 41.4K 481. Fluff. These are just some random one shots about BNHA ships. I will say that there's probably not going to be any smut. Although there's gonna be a lot of fluff. Grin. BNHAONESHOTS. 65.1K 571. A book of one shots with your comfort characters. I don't do ships, I'm sorry, this is an X reader, so I will only be doing those, and you can request. You can message me or. Oh, he's blind. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for my ignorance. She attempted bowing to show forgiveness, but mentally slapped herself when she realized he couldn't see it. Oh no, please don't worry. I'm actually grateful that you answered immediately. My name is Izuku Midoriya, and it's nice to meet you, miss. His palm reached out, and gladly shook it. Ochako Uraraka, but please, call me Ochako. I presume this is your first time. He chuckled, drumming his hand on the countertop. Yes, I've been meaning to travel across the campus a bit more, and I've smelled this amazing place on my first tour here, and I've been dying to try it, so I opened Google Maps and followed the directions here. That's great. Glad you heard of us. Did you already have something in mind? Izuku hummed in response. It felt different to see someone stare out blankly. I can't say, although that chocolate made my mouth watered. Any suggestions? Oh, not many people asked her. Most knew what they wanted to try or had a consistent order. Well, we have the best apple pies in town, but you'll have to wait for me to make some. By all means, take your time. He smiled warmly, as she entered some numbers on the cash register. Can I offer you anything else while you wait? And there's a step stool on your right. A medium hot chocolate, please. He felt around for his wallet and pulled out a card. She scanned it, grabbed the receipt, and placed it back in his hands. All right, I'll be right back. He nodded, as she grabbed some pots and pans. Thankfully, they prepped the ingredients every morning. 15 minutes later, after grabbing his hot chocolate, she went back to the front to see him listening to an audiobook on his phone. Oh, do you have Professor Night Eye's class too? The book he was listening to involved the same material. He paused the video before taking out an AirPod. Yes, and although he claims to enjoy jokes, I don't find a 5-page essay hilarious. She giggled. Yeah, it's tough. What's your major? Child care services, with a minor in education. You, aviation and airway science. Whoa, that's amazing. This may seem like a stupid question, but have you been able to fly yet? No, not yet. Mostly book study at the moment. What made you pick childcare? Well, don't laugh. He scratched the back of his, and she was surprised at how natural the conversation flowed. I won't laugh, I promise. I want to take care of other children who are also suffering. Some people have told me that it's not ideal. How can I accurately help others when I constantly need help myself? Yet that's exactly why I want to, because I know more than anything what it's like to be different, to need a comforting hand. That's the gist of it, anyways. That's beautiful. Why would you think I laugh at that? It wouldn't be the first time someone have. It is a bit cheesy, to be fair. But that's who I am. I never want to let someone suffer. He took a sip of his hot chocolate, before gently putting it down. Why do you want to learn aviation? It's just something I dreamed of as a child, to travel the world. I would love to go sightseeing and watch the clouds. She instantly bit her tongue, but then regretted that after realizing that he's no different than anyone else. Just because he couldn't see doesn't mean he should be treated weirdly. Immediately catching on, he chuckled once more. Please, you're probably regretting your choice of words, but don't. They are only words, I can't see but I won't be offended. Sighing, she responded, I know, and that's my fault. To be honest, you're the first blind person I ever talked to, let alone service. I didn't want to come across insensitive, especially when we was having such a nice conversation. Thank you, I could tell by your voice that you meant well. But, since we're being honest, I prefer when people are themselves. Ignore my disability as futile. There are certain things I know I can't do, but I'm thankful when most people treat me as friends rather than liabilities. I don't get that opportunity often. She noticed a slight sadness in his voice, before he went back to sipping his drink. Normally, protocol would only call for small talk, but since they was alone. Do you mind if I ask a personal question? His face perked up, eager to engage in conversation. Please do. Was you born blind or? Ah, I was born prematurely, so the doctors discovered I had retinopathy of prematurity. Abnormal blood vessels in my retina, and before further medical treatment could be performed, it was too late. I was confirmed legally blind by Japan, and many health conditions followed. Despite it though, I fought hard. My mom was my biggest encouragement. Though she often tried to keep me in a bubble, she learned to let me go, especially when UA College became more accessible to those with disabilities. I learned Braille and Morse code for fun, memorized all that I could and focused on listening to the lectures. She listened intently as he continued on, smiling at how proud he was of himself. To think that there's many things he wouldn't experience that she could, it made her heart sank. She heard a beep, and her waitress mode was activated. The pies are ready, give me 1 minute. She quickly grabbed her mittens and took out the pies, bringing one to him. Voila, our famous pies, made by yours truly. Be careful, it's quite hot. She made sure to put the plate and fork in front of him and told him. He took the fork and delicately scooped up a bite. He placed it in his mouth, before trying to blow it while chewing. I said be careful. He snickered, mouth full. I'm sorry, it's too good. He finally swallowed, licking his lips. This is amazing. The flavors of cinnamon mixed with the crunch of the apples are great. He went in for another bite, as Ochako felt her cheeks blushing. She wasn't used to compliments, let alone from something she worked on. Dee, don't worry about it, I'm glad you are enjoying yourself. A few moments of silence passed, before he went on to ask, so how's your college life been? Pretty good overall. Not many things to do other than study and work. My best friend helped me land this job. So it pays well enough. That's great. Did you already know how to bake when you first started? Oh no, I couldn't cook a thing. I would burn hot dogs even when I was boiling them. She noticed his body shaking with laughter, as she rolled her eyes. Yeah, keep laughing. I burned an entire trays of cookies too, rock solid. My boss tried one and it cracked her tooth. Had to get a filling. He couldn't hold back his laughter anymore, his joy filling the room. Terrible as that sounds, you definitely made some serious progress. Honestly, this is delicious. She smiled, before wondering something as she watched him eat. Can I ask another personal question? Shoot. If you was born blind, where did that scar come from? The fork stopped short from his lips, as his whole demeanor changed. His shoulders slumped, and he quietly took another bite. That's. That's a story for another time. He smiled once more, though his voice couldn't hide his pain. Alright, my turn. I need a favor. Okay, describe a busy day here. I want to know what it's like when you work here. She thought for a minute, trying to accurately describe it. I enter the shop Monday mornings, the smell of coffee and donuts mostly. A lot of people come through, talking about midterms, the football game from last night or the recent party that got shut down. Towards the afternoons we bake more brownies, bread, scones, and a lot of other pastries. Sometimes a mom and her daughter will come in and they'll grab a cupcake for both of them. Towards the evening, near closing time, some teachers would come in and grade papers, enjoying blueberry muffins or a slice or lemon meringue pie. It differs from day to day, but that's it. I hope I did a good job describing it. You did more than enough, thank you. I can envision better with my other senses, it gives me an idea. So can you see certain colors? Even though you was born blind? No, although there's study that suggests we have visual dreams, I never experienced one. For example, I know that grass is green, but I don't know what that means. I can instantly recognize my mother's voice, I know her facial structure by heart, but I don't know what she looks like. I can still hear my memories, smell them, feel them more intensely, I'm only missing the visual aspect. So I focus on how I hug them, how their hair feels. That's why I often listen to music or books or talk to myself, it's my own introvert self, I suppose. Do you have any friends here? Not really. One guy though, his name is Tenya Yida. We've been getting closer lately so I think we're friends. Only one though, hard to know others when many tend to avoid me. That's not right, that's life. People are scared of the unknown. They are afraid to approach me, like I'm a fragile vase that could shatter if they say the wrong thing. Well, now you have two friends. Me included. She watched his jaw drop a little, as did hers. She don't know what came over her, but if she had this much of a good time talking with him, why shouldn't they be friends? Asui and Najire constantly reprimanded her to be social anyways. I would like that a lot. The gentleness in his voice made her heart skip a beat, which she wasn't quite sure why. What do you see from listening to me? He stopped to ponder, before commenting, well, your voice definitely indicates that you're female. Though the sound of your steps could indicate you're on the heavy side. Because you can't see it, I'm definitely flipping you off right now. He started laughing once more. God, it's so infectious. She couldn't help but laugh along with him. So if you felt my face, could you get an accurate picture of me? Yes, but I don't go around touching strangers. If you don't feel comfortable, I won't do it. No, no, I insist. She hopped the counter and sat in the stool beside his. Can I guide your hands? He turned towards her voice, before giving a nod. She gently grabbed one of his hands and placed on her cheek. She noticed a faint blush across his freckles, before using both of his hands. Despite it being a little ticklish, she remained quiet as he ran his fingers across her nose, hair and lips. You have short hair, it's nice and bouncy. Your cheeks are puffy, and I can feel how soft your lips are. He stopped, smiling to himself. I can tell that you're a beautiful person. There goes another compliment, one that had her entire face red. A beeping sound goes off, and Deku grabs his phone. That's my alarm, it's time for me to go. Oh, yay, he took out his cane, and extended it before he headed towards the door. He took out his phone again. Would you I mean, may I have your phone number? Cute. Definitely. We should hang out sometime. She quickly dialed her number, and she noticed that with each press, a robotic voice would repeat the entry. Text to voice, nice. Yep, I got to say, this has been the most fun I've had in a long time, thank you. Uraraka. Call me Ocha. That's the nickname my friends use anyways. She twirled a piece of her hair, before brushing it behind her ear. He walked to the door, smiling to himself. Sure, call me Izu or Izuku. And I'll be back for some more apple pie. If this does well, I'll defiantly make a part 2. Where stories live. Discover now.